Hey guys, thank you for coming back to the channel. Today is going to be a Q&A where I got questions from fans on my Instagram account. I will be recording this with Sean Jackson. I want to apologize. We made this video a while back, so if some of y'all were waiting on your questions, I did record this, I believe, a couple days before the semifinal of the Gold Cup where we faced Qatar. I just wanted to finish getting all that Gold Cup videos and information out before I got this one. But with that being said, let's go ahead and get into the video.
The cross comes in towards Pulisic, the chest control, he has support on his right foot. Christian Pulisic, absolutely brilliant.
Alright guys, welcome back. Today I'm with my buddy Sean. We're going to be doing a video. The first segment is going to be a Q&A. I got 10 questions from Instagram. I'll go ahead and plug everyone's Instagram who popped a question. The second segment is going to be a stock up and stock down. So I have 3 players who I think values should be going up after this Gold Cup window and 3 players who I think their value will be going down. Do you want to go ahead and kick off the first question?
Yeah, for sure. All right, Carson. So we got a question from Iraq Trench Star from Instagram, and it says, should Conrad be starting in the World Cup qualifying?
Honestly, I don't think there's a game yet. At least Conrad he hasn't played any competitive games at all, really, in his whole career. I think throwing him into a starting spot against especially some of the stronger teams would be a bad idea. I wouldn't even really bring him on the roster except for some of the lower teams that we're going to be playing, and most of those games I probably see him coming off the bench. So I definitely don't have Conrad De La Fuente starting. Who do you think should become the first choice striker for the USMNT? That question I think came from you.
Yeah, so I would prefer to keep Sargent. I think he's been pretty dominant. He's got the big, lengthy strides. He's a true competitor. He's quite fast, has a very powerful foot on the ball. Again, this is a very young team we're dealing with, so I think a lot of experience these new young players need. So I would like to see him stay as the first choice striker going forward. So
okay,
yeah,
I think that what's his name, Jordan Sibachu or Jordan Peacock, he likes to change up his last name. I think it's his mother's maiden name. But he's been popping off so far. He plays over in Switzerland, and he just played in Champions League qualifying today, and I believe he got a goal and assist. And in the opening game, he's got 2 goals and assists. I think right now he's averaging a goal contribution in less than 30 minutes a game. Also, I messed that one up. That wasn't your question. That guy he didn't want his Instagram given.
Okay. No worries.
I think he might be a guy. Honestly, it's pretty wide open.
All right, Carson. Next question is, what are your predictions on how the team will do in the World Cup qualifiers? And this is the question from me.
All right. So I think first round, we'll probably be second to Mexico. I know we did just beat them. I think it'll be a lot harder to beat them again now that they've seen some of our young guys play against them that haven't already played against them.
For sure.
We do have all the way, I believe, until March. So a lot of the team is going to be mid-season form. A lot of the younger guys are going to be improving. Honestly, I say we'll probably finish second. I don't know if we top Mexico in World Cup qualifying. It should be close. We shouldn't be any lower than second. There's no team like Canada or Jamaica. They shouldn't have us in the second. First or second, but I'll probably say second. But, we qualify for World Cup, and that's what matters. What do you think?
Yeah, so I think after the few matches we played against Mexico that they definitely have a new taste to us and how we're doing. We had that big win in the Gold Cup and the other World Cup qualifier right before. So I really do think that U.S. actually does have a chance to take first. We still have another year to prepare and build our team chemistry. So with that being said, I do think that they will finish at the top.
You think USA will finish at the top?
Yes, I do think they'll finish at the top of the group.
I would not mind that. Next question coming from Yesy_VG10. Can USMNT win the World Cup in 2016 on home turf?
So at that point in time, I think that we will be true competitors because right now, I think the average age of the team is around 23. So we'll have 4 years, including a previous World Cup with this team to really, build our team. And I think by that time that we will be true competitors for this cup. But again, a lot of other countries are bringing up new teams, new young teams as well. So as time goes by, we'll just have to look at the other best countries. We got Germany, England. They had a really fantastic run, but I think that they're going to lose a lot of key players due to age. So with the youth of our team, I really do think that we have a chance. Slim, but I do think that it could end up being a possibility for sure.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. I think England and France, they definitely have young teams who will be really good. But I do think home advantage is huge in World Cup. I think if you go to
for sure.
all the World Cups, when people play at home, most of the time they qualify. Like Russia in the last World Cup, right? They were probably like one of the lowest teams in the whole tournament.
Yeah, they had that upset against Spain.
With a little bit of doping and advantage, they were able to get out of their group, and I think they won at least one of the knockout stage games. So I think home field definitely will help a little bit. I think you got the next question.
For sure. All right. Do you think Caden Clark will be at least top 5 of this generation? And this is coming from KT_11243.
So by this generation, I'm assuming like the next 3 World Cups. I still think Pulisic, Giovanni Reina, Tyler Adams, Weston McKennie, that's already 4 guys ahead of him. So do I think he'll be that 5th guy? Honestly, probably not. There's just so many guys. Like Yunus Musa, he's still a teenager. He did just get that little knock, but he's got plenty of potential. There's got to be at least like 1 or maybe even 5 new faces that come in and within those next couple of years and show that like they have the talent that Giovanni Reina or Pulisic could possess. He could definitely be a starter. Probably not for this World Cup 2022, maybe 2026. I honestly don't even think he'll be a starter by then. I'm going to say he's probably not one of our top 5s, but he could start in a couple of these next World Cups for us. What do you think? Sorry.
The big names that you said, we have McKennie, Reina, Pulisic. Those guys are all still young, so I do think that they will still continue to grow, and they will stay at the top. In my eyes, I feel like those players will stay at the top. So I don't think Caden Clark will end up becoming as big of names and as good as players as they are, but we never know what could happen. So.
All right, and this next question for my buddy Dante Medina 11, he just asked a couple of teams, will the USMNT be better than them within these next 5 to 10 years? The North American and South American teams. So Mexico, Uruguay, Colombia, Argentina, and Brazil. Which one of those teams, or how many of those teams do you think USA will surpass within those years?
So it's kind of hard to say for now because just like us, they have a lot of new young players that are going to be coming into the pitch, in these next 5 to 10 years. But Uruguay is going to lose Suarez due to age as well. Brazil, same thing with Neymar. Argentina, Messi. I mean, these are all big, great legend players that are going to be, ending up to have to retire just because of age. But we don't know what kind of new prospects they will bring out from their youth as well. So it's unsure to say, but I do think, again, that our team that we have right now, being a bunch of youngsters, we do have a chance to have maybe a U.S. name become, a great like that. Like we already have Pulisic, who's doing amazing in the European leagues right now. Reina in the Bundesliga with Dortmund. So I really do think that these players will contribute to potentially the U.S. being better than some of these South American and North American teams.
Yeah, and just to give like a more like solidified answer for like the teams that I think will be better than, I'd say Mexico, talent-wise, I think we're already there. It's just a big question mark. Because they obviously gel a lot better than us. I think we'll be better than Mexico. Uruguay, they have a lot of old players. I think we'll be better than Uruguay. Colombia will be better than them. Brazil always has great crops of fresh players. I think they'll be ahead of us. Argentina, they'll lose Messi. That'll be a big question mark for them, but they also have good generations. I think so. We'll be ahead of those teams. Colombia, Uruguay, Mexico, about the same level as Argentina, and Brazil will probably still be a powerhouse in those next couple of years.
All right. So this question is from Jaron Sharil, and it is, what is your preferred right winger, or who is?
My preferred right winger. Well, Yunus Musa, he did just get a knock. I believe he's out 3 to 6 weeks, so he'll miss maybe those first or second games World Cup qualifying. A lot of people like him in the midfield. There's really no spot for him in the midfield for our team. I think he's our right winger when he's healthy. No doubt about that. He's young. I think he's still only 18. Was ranked one of the top 20 teenagers in the world this past season. A healthy Yunus Musa should be our right winger, I think, for a couple years to come.
Yeah, I agree as well. I could see him potentially being a right mid as well, because I do think that after he gets off of this injury, that he could potentially be a right mid. Depending on what formation we run. But I do agree with your saying of that that he should be the next right winger. So
this next question from CL_Tito03. Do you think Reyna will top Pulisic as the best USMNT player soon?
So I think this is a very good question because Pulisic right now, I feel like definitely has the bigger name. He won Premier League he won Champions League with Chelsea, and he's been doing really good. He had that big penalty against Mexico. It's a lot of pressure, so it's good to see him. But Reyna is playing with Dortmund in Bundesliga, and I do think that might be a more challenging position for him to play. I could see it happen, but I also do think Pulisic is still on the rise. I don't see a downfall to him in performance-wise anytime soon. So until that starts to happen, I do think that Pulisic will stay on top unless something dramatic happens. What do you think about it?
No, yeah, I mean, Reyna, I think he does have a higher ceiling. Soon is kind of like a vague term. I see it maybe I'd give it at least 4 seasons. Reyna, he should be the starter this season as Jadon Sancho just left, and he did actually just take that number 7 jersey.
I saw that, yeah.
Adding some pressure to Reyna. He'll be getting a lot more meaningful minutes, hopefully playing most of the league games. He hasn't shown he's like as injury prone as Pulisic, so I mean that track staying healthy could definitely launch a path, but I'd say it maybe around 5 years, and they'll just be competing for that, I guess, talent spot number 1.
Yeah. All right. So the last question for you, Sauce, is who is the biggest threat to the U.S. men's national team and why? From Jack Martin.
The biggest threat, I would probably just go with, Mexico. There's no one really else in like CONCACAF. Another thing is just MLS academies, I guess. If that's a threat, we just need to get those going. Just the system in general, we need to get players in Europe. There's kind of a simple answer. We need to just get the system better in USA so we can ship some Europeans or some people over to Europe, and then we just got to be able to beat Mexico in and out and really show we're the kings of CONCACAF.
Yeah, I agree. If the United States is able to bring MLS to a level of somewhat comparison to the Premier League, I feel like we will be a lot more dominant because I feel like MLS has been recently looked at as kind of a joke compared to these big name, what would you call them? I'm blanking out here. The leagues, like the big leagues. You got La Liga, Serie A, Premier League. I feel like MLS has kind of always been bottom of the barrel, kind of picked on for that. So I think if we were able to bring the standard higher, that I feel like the US will become the threat instead of, who is the threat to us.
Yeah, 100%. Honestly, I don't really know if we need to make the MLS bigger. I just think we need to be getting our guys out of the MLS sooner.
Yeah, for sure.
Your last question, and I believe the last question of this Q&A. Actually, there's one more. It's just going to be directed at me. This one coming from Eisler Evan. What are some necessary changes the USMNT needs to make to be a true competitor on the world stage?
So for this one, I think there's just one straight up answer, and that's chemistry. Is we just need to work better with each other, exploit the weaknesses of our opponents, and really build on the pros of us. And I think We have 4 years until 2026. I'm not confident in how we will do this upcoming World Cup, but I do think that 2026 is our year again, like you said, with home turf. As long as the players themselves just continue to rise, I think that we will be a real dominant threat, and I believe we can be true competitors for the next World Cup.
Yeah, I think we have all the guys in place. We just need time. Time will really help these guys gel together. They're young, and we should be balling.
For sure, for sure.
This last thing from Jose Gomez, um, he asked about like merch and stuff like that, so that way the fans could have something. I really don't have any merch coming soon, but I have been working with my brother just to get a new like logo and branding and stuff like that. So with that, merch could come in the future. Hopefully, get the sub count up. Not gonna make it right now. I have like not even 100 subscribers, so I think that would kind of be a waste of money. But get that branding up. Just get the YouTube channel up, and then merch might come with that. That is going to be the end of the show today. Thank you, Sean, for coming on. Like I
Thank
said,
you for inviting me.
I'll plug his Instagram one more time. Drop it in the description. I had a great time. Hopefully, we see
sir.
more. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. For today's question of the day, if you weren't able to get a question in the video, just go ahead and drop it in the comments, so feel free to ask anything you want, whether it's some of these transfers that have been happening recently or just anything involving the USMNT. So what's your USMNT question? I'm Sauce, and this has been Sauce the Scoop USMNT.